So I always had this thing that I didn't like education. Like I was one of those guys who just wanted to make money fast, kind of a thing. Very similar to what's happening in the current market right now, but I was in that phase of my life. I was completely bored, and then I said, you know what, I need to do something. I can't just sit at home every single day of my life. So let me do one thing. Let me go get a job in UK because I can't obviously go get a big high flying job. The only job was that of getting a waiter's job. Investing is basically saving, wealth creation, but not your primary source of income. Because there's no attractiveness into savings, but there's so much attractiveness into buying something.
Hello. Hey
Hi,
Shashank.
hi. How are you, Anshuman?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for your time, man. This is an absolute privilege to share the stage with you. I hope everything's fine at your end.
Yeah, man, just been a very hectic and busy day. That's it. But it's just jumping by. I just did a session, I think 1 hour prior to this, right?
Yeah, you do
So
a
yeah,
sesh every day at 4:30, right?
yeah. I just talk about what's happening in the market. It's always good to do it right after the market gets over. So I just do a quick market talk because so many things happen. So many things happen on a daily basis in the market. So just from that perspective, I do it every day. Yeah, but every day at 4:30.
Got it. Got it. That's great. That's great. Cool. So,
Is
firstly,
is
yeah,
Sid
guys.
coming on
Firstly,
stage as well?
if Sid is not,
Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to know how this is structured. Yeah, cool. Go ahead.
yeah. So Yeah. So, firstly, the topic for today's session is how to start investing with little or no money. So, to
Yes.
start, before we start, I wanted to ask you, Shashank, when did you first buy your stock? When did you buy? When did you first buy a stock? How old were
Okay,
you?
so the first time I actually started investing, I mean, I ever got exposed to the stock market was at the age of 18. Okay, it seems I always had this thing that I didn't like education. Like I was one of those guys who just wanted to make money fast, kind of a thing. Very similar to what's happening in the current market right now, but I was in that phase of my life.
So that's why I wanted. There is a big difference between buying the first stock and starting investing, right? So, when did you seriously start investing, and how different was
Seriously,
it from randomly buying stocks?
understood, understood. So I'll tell you when I seriously got into it, right? This was when I was in UK. So I'd gone there for a year to complete my masters. And towards the end of it, right? I think towards the end of it, matlab, towards the last 2 months of my entire journey over there, we had a lot of free time. You have exactly a lot of free time because you're working on this year-end thesis, year-end project. So at that point,
Yeah.
I was completely bored, and then I said, you know what, I need to do something. I can't just sit at home every single day of my life. So let me do one thing. Let me go get a job. And at that point, obviously, for young people, the only job in UK, because I can't obviously go get a big high flying job, the only job was that of getting a waiter's job. Right, so I went to this
Okay.
restaurant called Kama Sutra that was obviously run by some Indian guy, and then I started working
Yeah.
there as a waiter.
Naturally.
So my main thesis over there was okay. Obviously, it's gonna give me some money to pay off some stuff as well, and also take care of my own expenses, so I don't have to ask my dad too much money as well because it was expensive over there in UK. So I started working as a waiter because there was no college to be done at that point, and what I realized at that point was the waiters in UK get paid a lot. So I was actually getting paid what approximately around £5 an hour, which is equal to around 500 rupees at that point per hour. So in a month, with the number of hours I was working, I was actually making somewhere close to 1 lakh. Okay, sometimes 1 lakh with if tips were included,
Okay.
I used to make around 1,50,000 and stuff like that. Uh, Now, if you look at 1 lakh in which is around what £1,000 for a full month's work. If you look at 1 lakh from a UK perspective, it is nothing. It's peanuts, right? Because it's nothing great. You'll spend that up quite
Hmm.
easily. But if you look at it from an Indian perspective, that's very good. So what I did at that point was from my UK bank account, I used to transfer everything to my Indian bank account, and then I started investing that into the stock market, and that is when I got serious because I was like, okay, I don't need so much money in UK right now because I don't have college, I don't have anything, and anyway, my food was taken care of because when you work there, obviously they take care of your food and stuff like that. So that's when I seriously started saving, and this was back in 2015 when I was doing my masters. I started saving, and after that, I also got exposed to the world of cryptocurrency, right? Bitcoin and stuff like that. I got exposed to that world
Okay.
quite early on in life. And when that happened, I started investing in a
Quite
lot of
early.
ICOs,
Yeah.
coins, and stuff like that. Yeah, quite early in 2016. I started investing in a lot of ICOs, made good money, but I wouldn't call it because I was smart. I would say I was kind of lucky to be at the right place at the right time when the boom was happening. So during that phase, I think Ethereum was at $8, Bitcoin was at $400. I used to invest in a lot of ICOs. So I'd saved up about 3 4 lakhs from UK, grew that to about around 20 25 lakhs in the course of 1 year. And then I think the ban into cryptocurrency came at that point, and then I quit the cryptocurrency market. Then I got a job as an investment banker. Then I started paying more attention. I came back from leaving the stock market. I'd gone into the crypto world. Then I left the crypto world and came back into the stock market. So after I became an investment banker was when I truly got into the stock market game. And this was, I think, around 16, 17 when I was an investment banker. And then I came to Bangalore after that, put most of the savings that I had saved into running Avalon. And then almost went broke by the start of it. Literally put almost all my life savings into that. Because in the early days, we weren't allowed to take too much salary, barely any salary. So I had to self sustain myself for a few years. But then, yeah, everything pays off at the end. And now we're at this position right now.
Great, great, great. So one interesting thing which you mentioned, and that actually sums up the difference between buying a stock and investing. You said that I made money in crypto, but I wouldn't say I made money because I was smart. I made money because I took a punt and I was at the right place, right time. And that's the
Exactly.
big difference. That's the biggest difference right now, that you are investing when your actions have something to do with the end result, right? Taking a
Yeah.
punt on the basis of someone else tweeting, or taking a punt because you feel that there will be more demand and someone else will buy this stock or altcoin from me at a higher price, is not investing, guys. This is basically, it's like gambling. And that's
Yeah.
why we are here. We want to understand, we basically want to make the difference between investing taking a punt clear, and how college students can start off with investing with as little money as possible. Okay, so firstly, I would start this by saying that saving and investing in today's time, as an activity, is the most important for a 2021 year old, because of the environment around us. Right
Correct.
now it's very easy to have access to credit, and along with
Correct.
hyperconnectivity, spending money is way easier today. Hear me out.
Correct.
10 pehle, 10 years back, if you wanted to buy a scooter, your parents had to save up for it, and then they could go ahead and buy that scooter. Today, if you want
100%.
something as cheap as a mixer grinder, you can buy it off Amazon without paying a single penny via no cost EMI. So spending
Yeah.
money today is very easy. So yeah, so that's why I feel that in understanding the importance of investing and saving as early as possible is not a very important skill. It's the most crucial skill to have, because if, as we have seen in America, right? An average American
With that
has
also.
$6,000 in credit card debt and has at least three credit cards in his name. And it's not like
Correct.
Americans have a loose willpower as compared to Indians. It's just the environment there. And the same
Yeah.
thing is happening in India. If I give you a stat, the second highest selling smartphone in India in 2020 was iPhone 11. A
Yeah.
50,000 rupee ka phone was the second highest selling smartphone. And if you compare it with the earning per capita, the numbers are very disturbing. So yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that saving and investing as an activity should be emphasized, and that's why we are starting off with this session. So Shashank, firstly, what do you feel is the biggest reason why college students cannot invest? Like, what is the biggest barrier to entry?
The main reason I think why college students, actually, the two reasons I feel are the most important reasons why college students can't invest. Okay. Number one, I think they are not educated to know that. Okay. Because in college and school, that's one thing that they should teach you on day one is how to manage your personal finances. I mean, that's basic 101 that is not being taught in college, right?
Exactly.
That is number one. So when I have no knowledge of how to do it, obviously there is this fear that, okay, I don't know how to do it, so maybe I'm going to screw up with it and stuff like that. So you don't tend to go into it if you don't know how to do it. That is number one.
True.
Number two is basically we are now, because I don't know that. The second problem that comes here is, as you mentioned, the temptations are too much today as compared to what it was before. Too many temptations are there around us. So one, I don't know how to save, but now I only know how to spend. Earlier, our parents, at parents generation, what I would call it, the whole concept was only saving because the temptation of spending was very less, because that access to TV wasn't
True.
there. The only reason, only time your parents would spend a lot was for your own education, to take care of your kids, for themselves, or to go have some ice cream at the famous ice cream parlor next door. That was the temptation, right? I remember
Yeah.
in Mangalore, I don't know whether you guys know about this, but there's this place called Bas and all that. So the temptation for a lot of people were to just go to these places and start eating. That was how it was. But today, as you mentioned, rightly so, today, if you look at what's happening with the current market, you will see that a lot of temptations are there. Redmi ka offer aa raha hai, is Xiaomi ka offer aa raha hai, iska offer aa raha hai, uska offer aa raha hai, and everything, as you mentioned, is on no cost EMI. So what happens is the temptation to buy has increased, whereas the temptation to save has decreased because there's lack of education with respect to saving. So I feel these are the two biggest problems.
True. Agreed. 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 As you said, like back then, back in the day when we were young, going out and eating was an event. Today, because of Zomato and Swiggy, it's an everyday affair.
Yeah,
So
now
things
it's like,
have changed.
Italian Thursdays, कुछ तो Fridays, biryani Saturdays. मतलब basically हर एक दिन
Exactly.
कुछ ना कुछ spend करो, right? And if you don't spend,
Yeah.
and वो जमाने पे phone was not such a big thing also, right? Today,
Yeah.
if you
True.
don't spend, they will bombard you with notifications saying, please spend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Swiggy will say like, oh, look at this new offer that is here. Oh, you're missing us. We're missing you. Come back, and you'll be like, are they missing us? Chalo, let's. But you see how the push notifications also tempt you into spending is what I mean.
Yeah. It
And
does.
then
It
there are
does.
bigger
And that's
temptations like big billion day sale. Oh God, that's
and
another, that's a whole other thing. Yeah.
if you look at Amazon, if you look at a Bodka speaker, that speaker has never been sold at 5,000 rupees. But every time you look at, if you click on that product, even if that product has always been sold for 1,500, the MRP, which was 5,000 apparently, will always be mentioned and it will be striked off and said ki 60% off. So people
Exactly.
are constantly made to feel that you are not spending much, you are saving that amount by spending and buying this product today. So the environment around us, right, has makes us spend more today, and no one is to blame. Like it that is the fact today, that people, it will become more difficult to spend money, and that's why understanding personal finance and learning about it at a very early age is pivotal for today's people, for today's generation.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one more thing, right? It's not an unknown fact. Okay, that's the best part. It's not an unknown fact. The thing is, we all know that this is a marketing strategy. It's not like, you'll see bought headphones at 5,000 and be like, acha itna hi tha. Right? Knowing us and knowing how we love to save money, or get the, not save money, but knowing how we love to get the best deal possible. Everyone knows board ka asli rate kya hai and stuff like that, right? We know all that, but we
Yeah.
still, as I told you, right, the temptation of me getting a discount when I'm actually paying more maybe on billion day sale rather than actually paying on a discount, that is there. So it's not a guarded secret. People know it, but it's all about people tend to ignore it more than knowing it, right? That is an issue.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I said.
true. Agreed, agreed.
It's more temptation to actually buy, actually go and buy something stupid than actually going and saving something, because there's no attractiveness into savings, but there's so much attractiveness into buying something,
Yeah,
right?
true.
That
Agreed,
that's what it's
agreed, agreed. Yeah. So yeah. So how do you want to structure this? So like, uh, I'm actually I'm not able to bring that first point on how do we start this. Like, what's the first thing which a student should do if they want to start investing or start saving?
No, I think we've already spoken about the. Okay, so let's look at it from all angles, right? Let's not just look at it from why, how to save and how to save for young people and all that. That is fine. Okay, वो तो
Yeah.
होना ही है, होगा, whatever, whatever. I'm saying, why aren't people doing it? As you mentioned rightly so, that people aren't saving, and there is a reason that people are not saving, right? So the main reason for this is what we just now mentioned, is that one, lack of awareness that is happening in the market. So much lack of awareness in
Yeah.
the market is happening. And second, because this lack of awareness is actually creating a lot of problems for people. So first thing what we should understand is, boss, get educated in the world of finance and know what is savings. Once you know what is savings, it is very easy for you to start spending, and you can spend and save at the same time, and you can do multiples of it, right? So for example, if I
Yes.
start saving for 1 2 years, I can easily post that, go, buy the Redmi phone without feeling bad or guilty because my savings are so high. So the first thing I would say, that people, I know it looks very attractive to go buy something. These phones come with fancy wall drops and fancy background videos and music and all these actors selling it, etc., etc. All that is happening. But all I would say is, do it, buy it. No one's saying don't buy it, but only buy it after you're saving enough, or else there's no point buying it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, and most of the times, saving money which you haven't earned will end up making you more anxious. So delay that purchase. Take 6 months, take 6 or 7 months, and then the satisfaction you will get when you actually end up buying that phone with your own money, which you had in your account, is priceless. Savings gives you a lot of freedom. Savings gives you the freedom to say no to opportunities. Think about it. You just left your job, and now you are looking for another job. You're looking for a change. You're looking for a jump, and you have, let's say, 3 4 months ka savings. ऐसे सिचुएशन में द फ्रीडम टू बी एबल टू से नो टू जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज जस्ट बिकॉज you have some money in your account which can take care of your 2 3 months is priceless, because that will actually help you get the next bigger opportunity in your life. And savings will do this task in every sphere of life. Even if you're a college student and you have like 5 6 months ka, if you have like, let's say, 4 5 thousand ka savings, you don't
Hmm.
have to worry about your food, or you don't have to worry about that mobile recharge at the end of the month, because that is a problem which I used to face when I was in college. When I
Yeah.
was college, I used to live hand to mouth every month. Malab, I had no budget, I had no idea of how to save money, and every month I was just hoping. I spent money in the same way, but I was hoping that the outcome was different at the end of the month.
Correct.
विदाउट एनी चेंज इन एक्शंस आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग कि हाँ, इस महीने तो एंड तक पैसा चलेगा, एंड जैसे एंड तक पैसा चलेगा आई विल बी एबल टू स्टार्ट सेविंग एंड लिव अ कंफर्टेबल लाइफ, बट दैट नेवर हैपेंड. सो पे पे अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग वेयर योर मनी गोes. Spend some time in understanding how you actually spend your money, and then you will find ways to, find ways and gaps to start saving.
Hmm.
So yeah, you should focus on how to start saving. That's the first step, as Shashank mentioned.
Yeah, and just make a plan. To be honest, right? It's not that difficult. It's quite easy. It's not that difficult that people think that it's very difficult to make a plan and stuff like that. It's not that difficult. So I'll tell you one of the biggest problems that a lot of people face when they're investing as a student is, the main problem I would say is that they don't have money, right? It's
Yeah.
not like they don't have money, they have less money, let's call it that way, right? I only have 1,000 rupees to invest, or maybe 2,000 rupees to invest. Now a lot of people think 1,000 rupees mein kya hoga, kya hi hoga apna, or whatever, 1,500 rupees mein what will happen to us. What is so great about this? If I say 500 rupees, what will happen? Even if I keep it for a year, if I get 10% return, that's 50 rupees. What's the point of investing? And a lot of people tell me this, right? I want to tell a lot of people here that first understand this golden thing, which is quite common that all of you all know, but understand this golden thing known as money makes money. First of all, okay, money makes money. That is number one. If you start with 1,000 rupees and you get 10% gains in a year, that is 100 rupees that you have gained, correct? But if I have 1 lakh rupees that I invest and I get 10%, that is 10,000. Okay, much better, I would say. If I have 1 crore that I'm investing and I get 10% on that, that's 10 lakhs a year. I would say much better than that. Money makes money. But the only way you will reach there if you start investing, you at least start somewhere. Now, a lot of people have this thing, you know what, I don't want to invest when I'm young. I'll just go get a job, I'll get nice salary, and then I'll start investing after that. So a lot of people do this. I get a job for 25k, 30k,
True.
50k, 60k. उसके बाद मैं investing करूंगा. Now let me enjoy life. And I'm not saying no for that, right? If you want to do that, you can do that. But the thing is, because you do not invest in an early age, you're not understanding how the stock market works, and you've not familiarized yourself with, say, investing, how are you planning to do that when you have a full time job from 9 to 9?
Yeah.
Not possible, right? I mean, it's possible, but again, you'll be bad at one of the two things. You can't obviously devote equal amount of time unless you're a genius to actually figure that out.
And yeah, people feel that magically they will start saving as soon as they have a higher salary. But you have to understand that as your salary increases, your spending can also increase, because spending has always been easier for you. That's why you haven't been able to save up when you had a 10,000 ka salary or 20,000 ka salary. So you won't magically start saving as soon as you have a 1 lakh ka salary. You
Correct.
have to have some kind of discipline. And that's why I also like kind of blame, I don't blame people, but I feel that like this budgeting rule, right? 50, 30, 20, people
Yeah.
sometimes take these personal finance rules very seriously to their heart. That the expert has said कि you have to save 20%, and मेरे केस में तो मैं सिर्फ 500 रुपए सेव कर रहा हूँ, which is like 2-3% of my salary. So what's the point? I will start saving only when I'm able to say start say when I'm able to save 20%. But that's not how it works. As Shashank mentioned, even small amounts, right, in the end will compound and make up for a very big amount, because in your case you have the biggest advantage, and that is time. Think about it, you
Yeah.
are just a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old, and you have almost 30 to 35 years of your income cycle. And it's not like 25 साल में if you are saving 500 rupees, 40 years maybe you will end up saving 500 rupees only. Your income will also go up, and as your income goes up, probably hopefully your savings percentage, your saving amount will also go up. So right now, if you are interested in investing, and if you have even 500 rupees, you should start investing, because that amount will compound and become a very big end result, because of your biggest advantage, which is the holding period. If you invest, let's say, 50,000 rupees at the age of 20, and you invest in a nifty mutual fund which gives you around 13 to 14%, by that logic हर 5 साल में तुम्हारा पैसा डबल होगा. So 50,000 become at the age of, you invested 50,000 at 20, at 25 that becomes 1 lakh, at 30 that becomes 2 lakh, at 35 that becomes 4 lakh, at 40
Correct.
that becomes 8 lakh, and so on and so forth. So that's the power of compounding, and you have the biggest advantage. So don't think about the event will keep happening. You just go ahead and start investing as small amount as you can.
The thing is, people will only believe what we are saying when they actually do it. Okay, number one.
Yeah.
If I tell you, okay, invest 1,000 now and then you'll get 1,200 after 1 year and then 1,400 after 2 years. First of all, people want 1,000 ka 2,000 right now. A lot of people right now want 1,000 ka 2,000 right now. That's why they go to schemes that are quite risky. They'll see
Yeah.
Dogecoin going from 22 to 44 and they're like, see, double ho gaya, mera dost ne kar diya, so I'm going to do the same thing. And obviously, more often than not, you end up burning your hands in such a situation like that. No one understands that the power of long term wealth. If you look at all the big billionaires right now, okay, if you look at Warren Buffett, if you look at Damani, if you look at Junjunwala, they didn't buy Dogecoin and become a billionaire overnight, right?
Yeah.
They actually invested for so many years. In fact, most of Warren Buffett's wealth came in the last few years of his life, not even before that. So
He
that is what
became a
it is. That is
billionaire,
the
I
main
think.
thing. 90s mein
Sorry,
kuch.
go ahead. Yeah, 90s, when he was at around 65, 66. And he has been
Yeah.
investing since he was 13.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying, okay, chalo, you guys will end up becoming a billionaire at the age of 80 or 90 or something, but I'm saying at least start investing right now so you can reach close by to what it is, at least to have a good lifestyle, right? And it's so simple. You can just open a compound interest calculator, put whatever amount that you can save on a monthly basis and calculate it for the next 30 years of your life, and you'll see that it is not that difficult to make money. That a lot of people think it's difficult, and don't think that investing is equal to making money. Okay, a lot of people think investing is equal to making money. No, investing is equal to saving. Making money is your other day job that you're doing, working hard for getting a salary increase, working hard with someone to get more income. Saving, investing is basically saving, wealth creation, but not your primary source of income, which again a lot of
Yes,
people don't
and
understand.
that's yeah, and that's why people end up believing that if you want to make money in the market, you have to be an active participant. But that's
Yeah.
not true, right? If you want, like, you can. outsource that process or outsource this activity to someone else. You can either invest passively via index funds, or you can give this
Correct.
entire task to a fund manager via mutual funds. You can do that. Not everyone
Correct.
has to give up on their time and make money in the process.
Yeah.
Also, secondly, I feel that a lot of people, right, they feel that making this one investment in Dogecoin or investing $100 in GameStop will make me rich, and and I'll be able to quit. This lottery mentality comes into the picture when you don't actually know the rules of making money. If you know the rules of wealth creation, which is living below the means, investing consistently, and having access to your time, then you won't actually rely on these lottery kind of events to be wealthy. And there is a clear correlation that all the poor states of America, like Kansas, they will spend the individuals of these poor states will spend more on lottery tickets as compared to citizens of New York City. The reason being that the people from poor states who do not have access to financial literacy don't actually know the rules of wealth creation, and that's why they feel that the only way they can become rich and wealthy is by buying lottery tickets or by going to KBC. So I feel that if you know the rules, if you know the rules of making money, if you are financially literate, then you personally will start staying away from Dogecoin or these meme stocks.
Yeah. Understood. So now, okay,
Yeah.
now let's come to another segment of this, right? The other segment is, okay, now we have understood what was a few things we learned. Firstly, saving is important, long-term saving is important, wealth creation building is important. But now let's come to the main part of, okay, now I have less money. I have 1,000, maybe 2,000, max 2,500 per month to invest. Okay, if I'm lucky, I'm 2,500, or else max 1,500 bucks I have to invest. Now the question is, where do I invest? What would you say? What is your take on where do I invest? I have 1,500 rupees or max 2,000 rupees. What would I do?
So
Where would I
depends
go?
on your intent of investing. Depends on your intent of investing. If you want to be an active investor who wants to pick your own stocks and wants to invest like 2 3 hours of your day in stock market investing, then I would feel that you should start. You can go ahead and start buying a few stocks, lose money, and learn in the process. So that's how I learned. Like when I was 19, I had I had like 500,000 to spare, and I
Hmm.
used to buy stocks and learn in the process, because making mistakes is the biggest teacher in the stock market. Having your skin in the game, making mistakes is the biggest teacher. So what I started learning while throughout this process of losing money for like a year or two was that I started learning what works and what not. And also because I had money in the market, I started reading a lot, because now that I had actual stakes on the table, I learned a lot because I was losing money. So if you have the intent of becoming an active investor, then I would feel that pick some stocks and start learning about it. But this is not the right way to go. The right way to go is take advantage of your time. If you are 19 20 and if you have like 1,000 1,500 rupees per month to invest in,
Yeah.
and if you keep that money for like 10 15 or 20 odd years, the amount will be massive. Just go ahead and actually go look for a compound interest calculator. Right, put up an interest of at least 13 14%, because that's what Nifty or Sensex has been giving without dividends, and you will be surprised by the results. So the smarter thing to do is go ahead and invest in an index fund or a mutual fund if you are not very much interested in learning about it, or if you do not have any idea about it, because this 1,500 or 10,000 1,000 rupee per month, which adds up and becomes around how much 12 to 18,000 rupees in a year, will have a very big effect in the long term. So I would suggest that you go ahead and look for some passive index funds or some good mutual funds, equity mutual funds, and start an SIP and invest in a consistent manner. What
Yep.
about you, or what's your take on this?
No, I completely agree. See, for example, a lot of people complain to me by saying, Shashank, I only have 1,000 rupees and I can't even buy Reliance. What's the point? Right? Or I can't buy. And also, they think that if you have 1,000 rupees, you have to invest that 1,000 rupees, and then they expect they expect people to give them three or four stocks that can invest in 1,000 rupees, which are like 250 average stocks, and then you'll have only four stocks in your portfolio, which are 25% allocation on each, which is deeming it extremely risky. Number one. So I would
Yeah.
also suggest for people, anyone who's investing less than 5,000. Okay, let me cap it at 5,000. Anyone who's investing less than 5,000, do an SIP into an ETF. Okay, if you can understand, if you guys know what ETF is, great. Or if you don't know, please educate yourself on ETF. But start investing in an ETF. If you want to know which good funds are there, you can just go to Money Control, go to mutual funds, and find out the ETFs that are currently there. You can just replicate the index itself. Okay, as Anshuman mentioned, that if you do a passively managed fund, you do not have a high expense ratio. Okay, so you don't have to pay a lot of money as well. But if you're doing an actively managed fund, you'll have to pay a little more expense on that. If you're investing above 5,000 and less than 10,000, I would still suggest you go for some kind of a mutual fund or some kind of a basket of stocks which would be stable enough, right? Anything above 10,000 is when you can actually start investing in proper stocks, right? Because even with 5,000, you are limiting yourself to invest. If you have 5,000 rupees and there's a good stock of Reliance at 2,000 ish upwards, then again it's difficult for you because your allocation goes back. So index funds,
True.
mutual funds, in fact mutual funds even start at what, 500 rupees investment, right? Even 1,000 rupees investment. So just put in that and keep it for a very long time. Don't just forget about it, is what I would say.
Yeah, true. And that's the thing, right? If you are not an expert, and if you are not very interested in this stock markets game, then it's all right. This is not you. If you are a software engineer, okay, you need not be interested about the stock markets, but you need to be interested about making money passively without investing your time, and that can be done even without you investing a lot of time in the process. And that's when index funds and mutual funds come to play, and a lot of people have made money via investing in mutual funds. So I'll give you the stat. DSP is an asset management company which has its own mutual funds.
Yeah.
So the other day, DSP's CEO put up this tweet that DSP's oldest mutual fund uh, completed 24 years of its existence. And in these 24 years, it gave a return of 16% CAGR.
Okay.
And the number of people who were invested in this fund for 24 years were less than 16.
Wow.
Yeah. So like the people were making like 16% means that people were doubling their money almost in 4.5 years. And
Yeah.
the people who were invested throughout this journey must have made a lot of money. But just being patient in the process of investing is very difficult. So that's why I also feel that just waiting for the right moment to start investing is not a very good approach, because investing is a lot about how you behave in certain situations. Like a lot of people say, right, ki 2020 may when all the stocks were trading at 50% discount, the right thing to do is buying the dip. But if you are an investor who has been invested just for the last 2 3 months, there is no way you can be capable to actually buy the dip when you are seeing every day the stocks are going down by 3 4%. The ability to buy the dip comes when you are invested in the market for a very long time, and you understand that markets will react erratically every now and then, but overall the market has a arc of progress, and that is something which you will realize only when you are invested in the market. So having your skin in the game from a very young age helps a lot, because you will start learning from your mistakes.
Yep. Yep. I completely understand. I completely back that point because start early is what I tell a lot of people, and don't always look at starting early is equal to investing directly in the stock market. It is all about wealth creation. And there's this statistic in the market that if you're invested in the market in good stocks, every 4 to 5 years, you almost double your money. This is what I've heard. Okay. Because if a normal mutual fund on an
Yeah,
average gives you 20-25%
true,
return,
true. It is true.
even if it gives you 20% return, which most funds do, then your absolute earnings at the end of 5 years would be 100%. So I've heard this statistic. Again, I'm not sure how true it is, but I'm pretty sure it is good enough. Now, if you take an average lifespan of a person who's currently 25 right now, and you How many 5 year gaps does he have? Right? He has to assume he's gonna save it till 60. Assume 60 is like, you know what, screw everything, I wanna relax in life. मेरे को कुछ नहीं चाहिए life में. So how many years does he have? How many five
Huh.
cycles does he have? Uh, Someone do the math.
Seven, I think.
Yeah, seven. Yeah, so that's seven cycles of money doubling. Now that's money doubling with compounded doubling. Don't forget about compounded doubling. It's not like I invest 5,000, matlab 5,
Ah,
10, 15,
yeah.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40 nahi hota hai. Okay, it is compounded doubling that you keep growing. So that is something people miss out. And if you continue saving, you're compounding that also at the same time. Every single year, you're compounding, compounding, compounding. So again, a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't understand that. But again, it's okay. It's never too late to begin, is what I would say.
Yeah,
It's
it
never
is
too late
not.
to begin.
It's not. And the thing which you said, right, that a lot of people don't understand because it's very difficult to understand कि ये क्या बोल रहा
Yeah,
है 5 का 10, 10 का 20, 20 का 40. This is like a Ponzi scheme
sounds too
because
good to
compound
be
interest.
true.
Yeah, it sounds too good to be true and exponential, right? People have a really easy time multiplying, adding or subtracting things. But जैसे to
Yeah,
the power आ जाता है कोई equation में, it's really difficult to do the mental math. And that's why
yeah,
no one can actually do compounding ka calculation without actually spending time on a website and spending time in the process. So the first thing is go open some compounding calculator today after the session and put some imaginary figures and keep doing the math for 30 minutes because wo jo desire hoga na of making money and desire of looking at those big numbers, that might end up motivating you and you might end up starting your investing journey in the process.
yep. And don't get scared. Okay, that's one thing I would say. That I'll tell you what I've seen so many people. They just want the market to go up every day. The way I see it. कि मैं आज इन्वेस्ट किया और नेक्स्ट 5 years तक मार्केट शुड ओनली ओपन ग्रीन एंड एंड एट ग्रीन फॉर द नेक्स्ट 5 years. A lot of people look at that. One day the market goes down or corrects, okay, or 2 days the market goes down drastically. I have seen people getting so scared, saying that मेरा पैसा डूब गया, I'm in red right now, my portfolio is red, gone, everything's over, shit. And they sell it at a loss also. They'll be like, shit, 20% loss hai, that's it, I'll never recover this in my life, I'm done, right? But I keep asking them the same question. I'm like, okay, you're in loss right now, 10%. Is the stock that you've chosen good? They'll be like, yes. I'm like, okay, go 5 years into the future. Do you think it'll still be down 10%? They'll be like, no, it'll definitely be up. And I'm like, why are you stressing so much then? Relax.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of
And
people need to understand, thoda aage jao. Like, go more into the future. Don't live in, invest today, 3 months mein I want to buy a Lamborghini. ऐसा नहीं होता है. All these weird websites that you guys keep looking, if you do look, stop looking at them.
a lot of this also happens because of lack of research. As soon as I've researched for a stock enough, I have confidence in it, and then I can actually be able to actually have the emotions to hold it in spite of it going down 5% or 10% in a month. And if
Yeah.
you look at real estate investors, our parents' generation, most of them have made money. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the return percent. I'm talking like if someone has invested like 50 lakhs in a house, in 10 or 15 years, they have seen that house ka value doubling. And the reason is before investing in that house, they did a lot of research. They actually looked at the area, they looked at the house ka quality, they looked at the builder
Correct.
and everything, and then they put their money. And because
Yeah.
of that, they do not have to call their broker on an everyday basis and ask कि आज मेरे घर का value क्या है. And that's
Yeah.
something which CNBC and all these investing.com के sites are doing. Every day we are getting to see red या green में हमारा stock, because of which we end up panicking. But if you have done the research and if you are confident enough about it, then these small fluctuations should never bother you. And if there is this talk that in New York Stock Exchange, 85% of the stocks change hands every year, versus on an average, an American holds a house for at least 7 years. And that's why we keep hearing about these good stories of real estate, because people have taken the compound interest ka concept in real life and held their properties for a very long time. And if every stock market investor is able to apply the same concept while investing in stocks, ki I am investing it for a long term, then a lot of people in India will become wealthier, because compounding will take care of them, of their investments.
Sorry, man, I got disconnected. Okay,
No
so the
stress,
thing
no stress.
battery is also almost dead. It's at 5%. So yeah, can we let's do one thing. Let's talk about the last segment, which is where do people educate themselves to invest. Okay, now we have given so much gyan on things like this, and also we've seen that, say, Tanmay Bhatt and me included, a lot of people are coming out with finance content because a lot of influx of finance people have come into the market. Now demand supply gap has been created where the demand for understanding finance is more and the supply for teaching finance is less, because not everyone can teach finance. You need to have some kind of a technical know-how to even teach finance, right? uh, so let's talk about that. I might get disconnected if my thing goes off, because I don't. Actually, give me 1 second. You keep talking. I'll just get my charger. Just give me 1 second.
Sure, sure, sure. So, firstly, the if you want to know about the books, if you want to know about personal finance ke books, wherein you can learn about how to save, the rules of personal finance, how to budget, then some of the books which helped me in the past when I was starting off, one of them is Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Okay. The second book which I recommend a lot is this easy story kind of format में है Richest Man in Babylon. ठीक है, it's a very good story wherein you can learn all the basics of personal finance in a very easy way. So even if you guys are not readers, even if you guys don't read on an everyday basis, these kind of books are very easy to digest. So start with something like Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. There's Richest Man in Babylon. If you want to learn about if you want to learn about these things in the Indian context, then there's this book by Monica Hallan. I'm so sorry. I'll just let you know the name. Let you guys know the name. Wait, Monica
Yeah, I'm
Hallan.
back. Yeah,
It's Let's Talk Money. Let's Talk Money. Yeah, Shashank, I was basically giving them three. I gave them three book recommendations for personal finance. So,
yeah.
what would you recommend? Some personal finance books which you liked and has
So
helped
I'll
you in
tell
the
you what, for
process.
beginners, I mean, there's this amazing book by. Have you heard this guy called Anil Lamba?
Yes, yes. Financial affairs.
Financial affairs and investing for a common man, kind of a book, right? There's one more book that he made. These I like Anil
Financial
Amba
affairs.
series because it is something that I would want to explain in that way. If you tell me write a book and explain to young millennials how to invest, that is something that I would use to invest that way. Get it?
Yeah, and
So I would look
also
at Anil Lamba for investment, number one.
yes,
Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about, was basically, now we've seen this new influx of finance coming in, right? Now I'll tell you how it all started. It started with COVID. You agree to that? That everything started off
yeah,
because of COVID. Because of COVID, a lot of new demat accounts got opened in this world. A lot of demat account opening started off. Now because of that, the demand for finance increased. A lot of, what is that, a lot of financial companies started making a lot of money in the space. Okay, now because of that, what happened is the demand supply gap also increased a lot. Now when the demand supply gap increases like this, new finance creators came into the space. Everyone wants to
yeah.
teach finance and everyone's trying their own spin and own way on teaching finance, which is obviously difficult to teach, but that's happening as well. Now, what do you think is happening in the world of, say the financial influencers that have just started right now? What is your take on it?
I feel that anytime there are outlier events, right? So finance in general has always been intimidating, right? If you
Yeah.
look at any news, any live mint ka article, or if you look at Bloomberg ka article, you if you even try to read the language, right, the language is very intimidating for a common man. So I give this example very often, like whenever the repo rates ka results have come, right, most of the journalists write 16 quarters, that the repo rate hasn't changed for 16 quarters. They could
Hmm.
easily see that the repo rate hasn't changed for 4 years, but they are saying things like 16 quarters and making people confusing the general audience. So I feel that finance has never been a part of the pop culture, but because of these outlier events, right, because of the entire COVID scenario, when the markets went down by 50% and then recovered the entire loss and is right now at a all-time high, or something like GameStop or something like Dogecoin, all these events actually interest people who are not a part of the normal finance community, because these are all events where a lot of people make money in a very quick time, and that's when pop culture notices finance ke events. So, like, if you think about it, like I run a meme page. I also run a finance ka meme page, and we
So
have
what
the
is it called?
interest in. It's clueless about money.
Okay. Wait, is that the same
Yeah,
as Clueless? Is Tanmay, what's Clueless?
yeah. So I'm the content producer, no, for Tanmay Bhatt's
No,
Clueless.
yeah, I know that, but I didn't know the meme page was also run by you. Okay, I thought you
Yeah,
helped with
yes.
that segment on YouTube. Okay, cool.
No,
Go
no.
ahead, go
So
ahead.
we are a very small team. It's me and the graphic designer and Tanmay as of now. So everyone's
Okay,
doing
and
everything.
where are you based out of, by the way? Just for curiosity's
I
sake.
was in Bombay. I was in Bombay. Then I shifted back to my hometown, which is Ahmedabad, and now
Ah,
I'm planning to go back to Bombay. But
okay,
I
nice.
just tested positive a week back. I tested positive a week back, so all the plans have been
Shit.
delayed. But yeah,
Okay, that's never good. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I'm recovering well and everything's all right. So wo chill hai. हाँ.
Yeah, just
So I was
ensure
saying
no
कि
one walks in.
yeah, everyone around me has also tested positive. My parents as well. So that has gone.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was saying that all these outlier events ignite the interest amongst normal people. So I feel that whenever someone loses a lot of money in Dogecoin, or whenever a lot of people make a lot of money in game stocks, what happens
Yeah,
is pop culture suddenly takes interest in it, and that's when a lot of people start learning. So if you look at varsity ka traffic in the last 6 months, or if you look at Zerodha ka account openings in the last 6 months, it must be at an all-time high. Zerodha brothers
yeah,
also became billionaire during the last 1 year. So all
correct.
these outlier events is when the interest amongst the audience is at an all-time high, and that's why finance YouTube channels has been increasing since the last 1 year, because everyone wants to know, and people who haven't been doing it on a regular basis have also captured this thing, because they now can use the distribution to actually have an impact on the audience. So I feel that yeah,
Yeah, and also,
finance influ.
so as you
Go
said,
ahead, please
right?
go ahead.
Sorry, another thing that you mentioned, which what I understood was that if you look at all these things, right, all these companies that, as you mentioned, Zerodha is making a lot of money, other companies are making a lot of money. That's why it's become favorable for content creators who are not finance creators to also come in this space, because now they're also giving money to people and influencers and then telling them to do whatever, right? I know a lot of people who are in this space who have no idea about finance, but again giving a lot of gyan on finance. What do you think about that though?
Okay, so yeah, I personally feel that because a lot of people got interested in the world of investing, similarly
Mm.
these content creators also noticed that this is something which is catching a lot of people's attention, and being a part of this world might end up making me very rich and wealthy in the process. And if
Yeah,
I have distribution, and if the companies which want to use my distribution are also growing in the process, and if my distribution wants to know about the world of finance, why should I not be the bridge between them and connect everyone and grow in the process? So this is
correct.
the general idea of a finance influencer who is a charlatan and doesn't actually know what he's talking about. But and I don't think that's right, because this is some serious business, right? Generally, let's say you are an aquaguard seller. Okay, if you're an
Yeah,
aquaguard seller, whenever if I pay you 10,000 rupees, in the in return you get the aquaguard. Even if that aquaguard is bad, you at least get the product. In the world of investing, the promise is the mutual fund guy is saying ki you pay me 2% ka commission, I ensure that I will make more money for you. So the
yeah,
promise here is different. The promise here is that I will use your money and make more money for you. So that involves a lot of trust. And now if a finance influencer comes in the scene and tells things and recommends things which he doesn't have any idea about, and in the process a lot of new investors lose money, they will lose trust in this organization, in this ecosystem. They will feel that stock market is wrong. And that's what
yeah.
happened during the early 90s, right? Because of all the scams, the number of investors in India started going down, because everyone lost the trust in the entire ecosystem. So I feel that charlatans running finance YouTube channels and giving recommendations without the support of actual finance experts is not right, because that will have very bad effects in the long run.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree with that point as well. Cool. I think what have we missed out on any topic? I think we covered most of the topics, right?
Also, like, what's your take on finance influencing? Like, what's your take on this entire ecosystem, and what do you think is the future of this of finance influencers in general?
So I think the it's just started. So I've observed something, right? I think it's just started first of all because until we have COVID, you will see a lot of people in the finance space teaching because demand is there until that time or until the demand's there. Obviously, people are going to be there. But what I've also noticed is that there are a lot of people I have seen come in with very less knowledge about the world of finance. And as you mentioned, right, it's not, it's never good when people are money oriented when they're coming to do teaching finance and not knowledge oriented. The day you start becoming money oriented in the market, it's very bad, not only for you but also for the people listening to you, right? Because you might
True.
be sponsoring constantly and doing something on that front and not actually delivering good value. Number one.
True.
So what I've noticed and what I've observed is that over a period of time, okay, see, when you have to teach people basics, that is good. Okay, you can teach people a lot of basics. But एक बार basics खत्म हो गया, then what will happen in the market is that now you need to move into advanced content. Now, when you move into
I think yes. I think we lost him. I think we lost Shashank. Oh, it's on mute. I think he got another call. He got another call. I actually read a good question. Huh. Can you assure 10% returns in any funds? Please clarify this. Tanmay, I don't think it's possible. So, first of all, most mutual funds, stocks, or ETFs, right? They're all subject to market risks. Because they are investing in stocks, there are no assured returns. So, most of these no stock, no mutual fund, no ETF will ever give you any assured return. If a mutual fund seller or if a relationship manager even tells you कि हाँ सर इसमें तो पक्का confirm guaranteed return है, तो it's wrong. तो कभी don't ever trust anyone who says that stocks या mutual fund में guaranteed returns है. ठीक है. Secondly, if you want guaranteed returns, if you want to use your money, if you want this money for a safe venture, ठीक है, let's say कि एक साल बाद you are getting married and you say that you will need at least 20 lakhs and you have saved 20 lakhs and now you want to store it. Of course बैंक अकाउंट में तो 3-4% मिलता है, इन्फ्लेशन ही 5% में, तो how will you guys manage? ठीक है, तो ऐसे केस में क्या करो, स्टार्ट इन्वेस्ट इन अ लिक्विड फंड और अ एफडी. FD will at least give you 5-6%. It is 1% more than inflation, and liquid funds will give you around 6% जितना. ठीक है. So if you want assured return for any reason, invest in a liquid fund or an FD. ठीक है. Anshuman, do you think investing on Fang funds is a good idea through Mire Asset? Krural, so I saw that only that the portfolio of this Fang stock, right? First of all, जिसको भी Fang stocks के बारे में idea नहीं हो, ठीक है? Fang stocks are basically Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, ठीक है? And Fang fund जो है Mire का नया fund है, that has 10 technological stocks of US, tech stocks of US. Okay, I personally feel that if you are a new investor, that investing in a portfolio of just 10 stocks without having much idea about them isn't great. So I feel that in portfolio बहुत ज़्यादा concentrated है. So अगर डालना भी हो तो ज़्यादा मत डालना, ठीक है? Or else read about these stocks, learn how to analyze companies and then invest in these. Yes, Ravdeep. So if whoever is asking how I got this post, Ravdeep has said that he posted a story that he needs a content creator. This is in last March of 2020, and I emailed him. So back then, to give you guys an idea, January mein I had quit my job. I used to sell mutual funds before this job. I used to work at a fintech startup called FinPeg, and I used to sell mutual funds there. And उसमें I had quit that job, and 2-3 महीना I was just looking for the right opportunities. I was looking for internships, and I was cold emailing a lot of people. And in this process, I got the gig with Tanmay. ठीक है? Okay, next at Shashank Bank. Oh, Shashank is here. Okay, wait.
sorry man, I
Yeah,
think my
Shashank.
keep switching off like this. I can't understand what's happening.
No stress, no stress, no. So I was just taking a few questions. Okay,
No, no,
you
no issues. I
continue,
saw that.
continue. Yeah, you continue.
So Anshuman, my question is, when are you going to help me with little content as well?
अरे anytime, anytime,
Please,
anytime,
buddy.
man. Yeah,
Like
I'm
I know
I'm
you're
very happy. I'm क्या?
when I see
We
it on
lost you.
Tanmay's thing, it's good, right? So when are you going to help me? Let's do something together, no?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
sure, man. Sure, I'll be happy to
from a
help you.
perspective.
And yeah, yeah, anytime, man. just let's collaborate. I also saw your content on Grow. To give you, I also started doing videos for Ticker Tape. So बहुत
Okay.
regular content आने वाला है on Ticker Tape channel, and I've also seen you doing regular content on Grow. So this is like, I'm very excited to do something. Let's collaborate and let's make a lot of content, because I also feel that you are not a trader, right? Even I am not a trader,
No,
so
no,
that also is
I'm more about आज इन्वेस्ट करो कल तक छोड़ दो.
वही है, क्योंकि आई यूज्ड टू, आई हैव ट्रेडेड अ लॉट, आई स्टिल ट्रेड, बट आई रियलाइज दैट आई एम वेरी मायोपिक. माय शॉर्ट टर्म विजन इज नॉट दैट ग्रेट. आई हैव एंडेड अप लूजिंग अ लॉट ऑफ मनी. So I realized, why not read companies, study about them, learn about them, and make money in the long run. So
Yeah, I completely agree. And if you look at all the startups, like obviously Small Case is doing really well. Ticker Tape also, I think I've done one video a long time ago with them. Small Case I really love. So I work closely with their team also. If you've heard of Shalab, I don't know whether you've heard of Shalab, but I
I
work with
know,
him a lot in the Small Case
yeah,
thing to
actually,
understand.
Ticker Tape is small cases product, no? So I know the
Yeah.
ecosystem actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really love what they do, man. So I never make videos about any platform if I don't like it, or if I have not gone through it, or if I don't think it'll add value to someone's life, right? I'm telling you, there's so many companies that have come to me and told me that, we'll pay you so and so dollars or rupees. Can you do a video on, say, Upstocks, right? Upstocks is just constantly reaching out to me so much. Even if you look at angel broking and so many companies, right? I just tell them no, I don't want to do it because I use Zerodha. I can't go tell
Yeah.
people that okay, I'm using Zerodha, you use Upstocks. And their logic to that is it's okay, people can use both. I'm like, yeah, they can use both, that's their logic, but I'm not going to recommend both, right? Because I'm very clear that I use something and what I use is what I recommend. I'm not going to tell people. So I don't know, it happens, dude. A lot of people try to optimize for some kind of quick gains. I optimize for
And
like what I use is what I give. That's it.
I also have one question, like because we also touched the influencer wala thing once. A lot of
Yeah.
influencers endorse a lot of products, right? वो बंदा कल पॉन्ड्स कर रहा है, आज कोई दूसरा प्रोडक्ट कर रहा है, and both of them have completely different properties. So if that person uses both the products on his face, उसको allergy हो जाएगा. Similarly, finance may be a lot of people are endorsing a lot of products, a lot of companies, without realizing that if you have a long term association with one brand, and if you
Yeah.
help them grow while you are also growing with them, it's very easy, right? Because the relationship is also compounding, and you do not have to go on and keep finding new vendors to work with, because you have actually locked the company who is willing to pay you, and you are also willing to add value to his life. So why are influencers not doing this? Why are influencers constantly, as you mentioned, first, I have seen a lot of influencers who have promoted Upstocks and Zerodha, while both are discount brokerages and both do the same thing. So why are people doing this? Because the benefit is in long term relationships with people. Like, if I give Tanmay's example also, AIB did most of the videos with Swiggy and Ola, just two three
Correct.
companies they picked, and they did that for 3 4 years, and they were making a lot of money. They were a profitable venture. So why do you
Yes.
think influencers are doing this, like picking every opportunity without thinking about the consequences of their partnership with the other companies?
So I'll tell you there's few reasons why they do this, right? And I'll tell you from what I have observed from my perspective. Okay. Number one is
Yeah.
that firstly the competition is more intense right now. So for example, if not me, then someone else will do the same thing. Okay, that's what it is. The competition is slightly intensified.
Yeah,
What a background noise is coming up.
it's from my end, man. The My society is getting sanitized.
No worries, bro. Okay, just mute your mic, then I'll just talk. Yeah. So what I've observed is number one, the competition is too high. A lot of people are doing a lot of things in this market right now currently. The second thing what I've observed is because these finance companies are also doing really well in the market right now with the growth that is happening. They are paying a bomb to people, right? They're paying such kind of money which is too hard to say no kind of a money, right? This is an offer that you cannot refuse. Now, if you look at a content creator's life journey, it is very difficult to stay relevant for a very long period of time in this industry. Okay, today I'll do something, but tomorrow someone can come and with something little more funny or a better position than me and take me out. So there is this fear that आज people listen to me, tomorrow they will not listen to me, and then my what do you call that? My entire value or net worth in this market will go down. And if it goes down, then no one will listen to me. And then let me just make how much money as I can right now. And then once that is done, let me be okay with that. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, yeah, I can.
Okay. So a lot of people think from it from that perspective, right? So they don't align themselves with the long-term vision of a brand, but rather align themselves with the short-term vision of making money right now. Also, if you look at the long-term vision of a brand, say for example you're talking about Swiggy and Ola and stuff like that, right? The problem is these brands also don't have so much loyalty, no. See, today you're there as a finance creator, tomorrow they'll just get someone else,
True,
right? They just want
true.
someone who's trending in the market always, right? That's usually how it is. So when you have such kind of
Yeah.
insecurities or you have such kind of fears in the market, you ideally don't tend to think long term. You just be like, चलो ठीक है, अभी हो गया, मैंने पैसा कमा लिया, let me just sell everything and go away from this market. Okay, I made my money, I was an influencer, I used to make so much money by doing this reel, that reel, whatever reel, अभी मेरा काम हो गया. That's how people look at stuff, which again I don't believe in. I believe in long term. I don't mind just talking about things that I love, and just talk about one or two things that I love, and I'll keep doing that because it protects my credibility, is what I would say.
Got it, got it, got it. And it actually makes sense, right? As you said, that you have one point of contact for small case, okay, and you are constantly in touch with that person every time you want to do a video. Now that relationship is also compounding. So if you actually end up doing a video for small cases competitor, you might actually feel a little jittery before contacting that person again. And
Yeah.
that, yeah, so that can get awkward. So I personally feel that long term association with brands is also something which will help you in the long run, because you have a source of revenue which is constantly coming. But yeah,
That's true.
most of the times brands are also not very loyal. So yeah, if you are like the Chartava Suraj, then everyone will salute you. Or else, yeah, if you have lost relevance, then those long term brands
Exactly.
and partners will also, yeah.
Now, also if you look at mine, right, I don't like selling stuff. I like doing platform reviews. I like talking to people about platform and educating platform, but I won't go tell you have to buy this product from that platform. That is something that I don't like it, right? So I'll tell you one funny incident. Okay, I've tried one sponsored post till date in my life. The only reason why I did that was I wanted to give an experiment to see how it would feel like, because I'd never done one before, and I'm like, let me see how this works. Okay, so I did one
Yeah.
sponsored post, and when I did that, I hated it. I hated it from inside because I felt like I sold myself that day. Okay, so I felt really bad. Now, sponsored post meaning putting that hashtag, putting their links, ऐसा वाला post,
Yeah.
right? Not
Yeah.
for not taking money for rendering services. Like if I'm going to teach someone about something, then yes, you're taking a percentage of my time, then I will render services. But putting like
Hmm.
stuff like hashtag and their links and stuff like that, I did one, and dude, I lost it. Like I couldn't take it anymore. I decided, dude, ऐसा नौबत नहीं आया अभी तक, तो ऐसा नौबत I won't do it.
नहीं
Uh,
आएगा भी नहीं, आएगा भी नहीं. I hope everything you are doing very well, man, and you are one of the first influencers in the finance space, and all of
I would
us,
say
the new
second. I
ones.
would say second. I would say second. Rachana's first for sure. She's the one who
Oh,
started me.
CMM is, yeah, yeah. CMM is, of course, of course. Like I also started working in this space since last year, right? Since March, I've been doing it, and we were also fairly one of the earlier players. So that you can understand how new this field is. Like ek saal purana
Yeah,
YouTube channel is also one of the earliest players in the game. So yeah,
exactly. No, but definitely, man. I really like what you guys are doing with Clueless and with Tanmay and stuff like that. We should definitely do some kind of a joint video or a collaboration or whatever. We can figure something out. But there is
definitely we'll figure something out. Yeah,
that's what I keep saying in this world of social media, especially in this world of social media, there is no competition the way I see it. So when it comes to business, yes, Zero Das competing with Grow and Upstocks, right? But when it comes to
yeah.
the world of social media and giving this kind of content creation knowledge, now if someone, say for example, listens to my thing, it's not like they will unfollow Tanmay and then listen to me. You get my point?
Exactly.
So there is
Exactly.
no
Yeah,
competition
yeah.
between.
I think Shashank got a call again. So yeah, I will just continue like his point कि ये जो competition नहीं है इसमें, this is not a zero sum game, guys. If Shashank gets Shashank's number of followers in YouTube in the next 1 year becomes 1 million, that doesn't mean कि तन्मय का 500K से 100K हो जाएगा, right? It's not a
Yeah.
zero sum game, and there is scope for a lot of collaboration. I'll give an example of today,
But
right?
people don't do
I,
it. That's the thing. People don't do collaborations, and I don't know why. Right? I like doing collaborations, but no one wants to do it because they compare the size of the audience with each other, and they'll be like, "अच्छा मैं किया तो उसको benefit होगा या मैं नहीं करूँगा तो उसको अलग benefit होगा," and it's a very weird way they think about stuff. But I love
yeah.
collaboration. I just don't
Actually,
do
the
much
media
because I don't have time.
industry
Yeah.
media industry is everyone looks at it as a zero sum game. Reason being, as you said, right, there is a brand, the number of brands are small, and the number of the supply of influencers is very high, so everyone feels like I have to compete with them to actually be still relevant, but that's not true. 400 मिलियन से 500 मिलियन आज के दिन में जियो के वजह से नंबर ऑफ इंटरनेट यूजर्स है. Everyone
Yeah.
can be relevant. Gone are the days when internet was priced at 199 rupees per GB. So
I agree.
internet is there is abundance of internet, there is abundance of brands, there is abundance of you being relevant. If you add value, you will be relevant. And I'll give you an example of today, right? I had 400 members in my community. Because of this because of this, I'm sure the number of members in my community must have increased, and that's only because I'm
Wow, we're at
collaborating with you.
816, by the way. Just keeping track. No, but see,
Oh
that's what I'm
wow.
saying. So
Oh wow.
if you get 816, it does not imply
Yeah,
that I have lost. Okay, a lot of people think this way, huh?
exactly.
That if you got
Exactly.
816, that means I have lost, or oh shit, because of me you got it. It does not matter. The number of people listening to
Yeah.
the comment section right now, number of people currently live right now, 200 people, did they get
Yeah.
value? Yes or no? That is the main goal. Yes, if they did get value, then you're doing something right. Whether you do it individually or whether you do it with some friend or whether you do it with any content creator, as long as you add value, you're
Yeah.
relevant. Okay, and always keep
Exactly.
adding value. That's why I don't believe when a lot of people know. They say that you need to post 10 times a day, 15 times a day on your post and story, and I don't believe in that stuff, because all you have to do is give value from time to time. Yes, don't just, sometimes you can take a break. A lot of people do take a break, but just give value and be genuine when you give such value. Okay, don't do it for nonsense sake. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. So don't try to game the algorithm. Don't try to game the algorithm, and you have to understand that the amount of information about finance on the internet is very high. You just have to make things simpler for the audience. You just have to
yeah,
understand that if you know a lot about finance, then you are in the top 0.5%, and you have to dumb it down as much as possible, and that's where your competence also comes to place. If you can dumb it down for a 10-year-old, if you can dumb it down and explain how what a stock market is for a 10-year-old, that's when we can tell you that ha, Shashank knows a lot about stock markets. So,
yeah,
and that's something which is the goal, right? You are making finance simpler for the audience. I am also in the ecosystem of making finance simpler for the audience. So yeah, thank you so much.
yeah.
This session I feel was very value adding even for me. I got to understand your perspective, and we should do this often, man. And we should connect and find new avenues to make content together.
Yeah, I think people would love to see some kind of crazy collaboration and in talks of finance. So we should definitely do something together to figure out some nice thing. Either way, we have time to figure that out, so we will.
Definitely, definitely. So I'll also plug both of our Instagram profiles. I'm sure everyone else follows you, but if not, follow Shashank, man. I'll just put the link of his Instagram account, and follow me also if you want. I don't mind. So yeah,
Nice plug.
I'll. Yeah, actually, I'm very shameless. If it's my distribution, then I'll plug because I'm here to
Of course, of
add
course, of
value
course.
and
No,
also grow my community.
I feel people who are not shameless when you're if it's your right to ask, definitely ask it, bro. That's it. As simple as
Yes,
काम
yes,
कर रहा है,
definitely.
मेहनत कर रहा है, पूछ ले, right? कुछ tax नहीं जा रहा है पूछने में, right? All people have to do is if they like you,
Exactly.
they follow. It's not forced. You're not catching something to their neck and saying, if you don't follow me, I will not let you in this session. You've done everything.
Why
You
not?
can ask. It's up to them at the end of the day if they want to listen or not. So it's completely fine.
Yeah, yeah. So on that note, guys, Shashank, do you have any more points to add? Any last note? Any ending note? And then we can close this session.
No, man. I think from my end, that's it. It's done.
Say, same here, same here. So that's it for today's session, guys. I hope you found this valuable, and join my community if you want such sessions in the future. I'll come live every other day, and we'll do finance sessions. So thank you so much, Shashank. I'll continue this for like 5 7 minutes. If you want to leave, you can go ahead. I'm sure you have
I'm
other
done. I'm done.
commitments as well.
I'm too exhausted today. From morning, I've been doing session after session. So I'm going to take a small break right now. Yeah, I'm going
Sure,
to
sure,
relax.
sure, sure. Thanks for your time, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Bye, bye. Yeah. Have a nice day.